yesterday. Last time I hunted with these guys was like 7 or 8 years ago. Bob and my dad grew up turkey hunting together back, I think, probably when turkey hunting started in Wisconsin. Spent a lot of years chasing birds together. Andy and I are about the same age, so naturally we've been on quite a few hunts together also. But as life goes, you get busy, and Andy's had a few kids now and doesn't get to hunt as much. So it's been a while since we've hunted together, but we kind of put this on the calendar back early this year and said, hey, we're going hunting on this Friday. So this happens to be Cinco de Mayo. We slipped into one of their spots, and it's just cracking light here. It sounds like we got 2 or 3 birds roosted up here. There's a couple more gobbling 400 or 500 yards down here. It's pretty grown up in here, so we thought there was going to be some better options for trees, but we're just kind of situated against a fallen down log in between some bushes, looking out into this open pasture. Ain't going to see him coming, but if we see him, we can shoot him. So we're hoping these birds pitch into this bob and just work on down in here. So either way, it should be a fun day. If we shoot a bird, it's going to be a bonus. These birds have probably been on the ground for 20 to 30 minutes, I would say. The ones that were roosted closest to us, they hit the ground. It sounded like they worked up the valley. They're still not terribly far away, I'd say 200. There's several birds down the other side of the valley. There's got to be at least 4 birds down there gobbling. We're just going to wait them out here for a little bit. See if we can get one to break. Otherwise we might make a move. It's probably 6:30, 6:45. We stayed in our first setup for a good hour after fly down. And we actually ended up having the birds that were further from us off the roost come into probably 75 yards-ish. But then they kind of worked up the hill away from us. So we were actually coming up onto this top to see if we could get something going. And the birds that were roosted right next to us this morning are gobbling pretty good. I'm going to say they're 150 yards. Sounds like they're just around the corner from us up on the top. So we just set up right here in the pasture. Alfalfa field out in front of us, and then there's about a 20-yard buffer of pasture. Through the decoys up, we'll see what happens here. They're going nuts. It's just a matter of if we can suck them over here. Make more sense for them to come high on the field than it would down through these woods, wouldn't it? I would hope so, but I think they're on the field. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Setup here on this property this morning. We started out up this valley a couple hundred yards, and birds circle back. We kind of figure they're up in here right now. He scooted down the valley, kind of regrouped. And I'm pretty positive this is where these birds sat and gobbled for a while this morning. Beautiful wide open pasture here. We're kind of tucked up into these trees. Got Bob sitting about 25 yards away from us. Just gonna sit here for a little bit, see if we can get one of these birds going. Bob said, give her out.
It's 9 o'clock.
It's 8:58.
Oh, thank God.
We are on setup number 4. Same property. We got a couple different groups of birds that have been playing with us so far. We just kind of keep running around, trying different setups, trying to find that sweet spot where they want to go. We're kind of on our way out here now. There's this little island up in the alfalfa field. We stopped to make a call before we left. Sure enough, a bird gobbled across the valley, so I'm just gonna post up here for a little bit and see if we can get them fired up. A lot of birds down in this timber. It's just, it's been tough getting them to wanna commit, so maybe we'll get lucky, otherwise we're gonna head her out and roll onto another property if we don't get something going here.
That'll do, bud. I was 100% sure they were up here.
I was too until the last time I heard spitting and drumming.
Yeah.
And you're like, they're way up the hill. I said, I think they're pretty close to the front. And then when they gobbled that last time,
Can't stop the flow.
check your gun, buddy. Good job. I told Andy, I said, if they come down this edge, I'm not letting them get to the decoy because I can't even shoot the decoy.
Well, I was afraid because where I was at, if they had the decoys, they would have been in view of me, and I'm like,
They were going to come to the decoy.
Oh, they were coming. Yeah, those three were.
I would have had to shoot like this at the decoy.
they must have booked.
Well, I sold up the hill. I was.
Well,
Again, I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
Did you
Apparently,
get him come right past me?
I got him coming over your shoulder.
Yeah,
but I was sold out.
I didn't know if you heard me say, I see him, and then it was like a few seconds later, you're like, they're right in front of you. I'm like, I know. I see him.
I can't say it. My hearing sucks so bad, buddy.
They're all like, okay, you put a puddle roof on him. Yeah. I think you hit him. Beautiful bird, wow.
Here we are. It is Friday of the third season here in Wisconsin. Actually, May 5th today, Cinco de Mayo. And very fortunate to be out hunting with Bob and Andy Anderson. It's been 7 or 8 years since we've turkey hunted together. And they invited me to come down and run around on a few of the spots that they've got permission to hunt on. And we stuck on the first property for, it was probably 3-4 hours this morning, and we had birds going, and they kind of kept running around on us, and we just kept moving on them, and finally we got one to break, and it just didn't work out how we wanted it to. And we took a quick break here, and we're doing some driving around, and we actually spotted these birds up in this field here. And Bob and Andy had made this play before, so we kind of used the terrain and came up the backside of this hill. And we were actually expecting them to try circling us up in the woods, but they came perfectly. We kind of had Bob drop down the hill, which was actually textbook, and because usually they said that they would set up on the wood line and the birds would skirt them, but we had Bob drop back straight behind the decoys and it couldn't have worked out any better. Very blessed today. Beautiful bird. Gotta thank Bob and Andy for inviting me out. Always have a blast hunting with these guys, and it's like typical father-son, and I fit right in with them. So great hunt here in Wisconsin. The rest of the day, probably have to go do some work for my mom. Bob's gonna have to go plant his own food plots now. Thanks again, guys.
I take the safety off. Nailed him. I got him. I got him. Oh my gosh. My heart is pounding so fast. So, I wasn't the happiest about getting up this morning. It was early, but we got out here and I feel like we didn't have to wait that long. Tom came in and he got a little spooked, not sure about what, but then some hens came out on the field, and then 2 jakes, and Dan asked me if I wanted to shoot one, and I was like, sure, if it comes in. And it came in, and I blasted him. So I was pretty excited. My heart was pounding. I've only hunted a few times in my entire life. I've never turkey hunted. So we've been out a couple of times in the past couple days, and yeah, my heart was just beating out of my chest, but I got him. So it's a pretty good day. Is that a ton?
got him! You got him, baby! What's wrong? What's wrong? What happened? What's wrong? What happened? What's wrong?
I'm just so excited.
You got him! You hammered him. Great job! You got yourself a big old Tommy!
Just the one day. The one last day.
Your first time. Is that pretty cool?
Yeah. And it's really nice and pretty. It has those cool colors.
Let's see his beard. What's his beard look like?
Whoa.
That's a
Finally, the one last day! Good job. And at least it has spurs.
My socks are soaked.
Yeah, I bet they are.
I said screw the puddles.
Well, we brought him over by the water to get a little bit better pictures and what are you doing, silly?
Playing with
Tell
it.
you about how excited she is. Why don't you tell everybody how much fun that was?
1,000 million times bigger than the whole world.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you, baby. I love you. You did great. You were it took you a little while to pull that trigger, but I eventually got you to pull the trigger and you made a heck of a shot. He was probably 30 yards away. Great job, baby. I'm proud of you.